All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Monday. You should see my screen, hear my voice, be able to talk to me, talk to each other. But we'll give it a couple of minutes. Lots of action yesterday. Globally, you're saying, Stephen D. Good morning to you, Iran. Yeah, committing to not was good. The market's responding well. Good morning, Don. Good morning, Joey. Good to see you. Joey, I don't know if I ever gave you a formal welcome. I know you're somewhat new, but I appreciate you coming in and commenting and saying hello. I saw you put a comment in circle with a few symbols. Now that you're here live, you're going to hear me say, anyone got a symbol to look at? You can throw all three of them out. So just keep that in mind, sir. Good morning to you, Bob C. and Peter. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Mike. Love the Monday morning energy, everybody. Thank you for that. And officially, good morning. Welcome out to Options Income Launchpad Monday Market Kickoff. I am Scott. And you will be stuck with me for the next hour. Let's go, Knicks. Looking for the sweep, man. They've got their brooms out 2-0 on the road. That's something. uh, anyway, if you're a Knicks fan, then you'll probably remember this name. But when I was just out of college, I started a business here in Utah called High Mountain Tours and Transportation, which was me, a cell phone, and a big silver van with a dope ass logo on it. I'm just saying, it was a dope logo. And I did a little bit of ski shuttle type stuff, but I ended up getting a contract with the Utah Jazz for about 3 years. And I drove like rookie league stuff, and I'd pick up players from the airport. But one of the guys that I picked up was John Starks when he came and finished his career at Utah. And interestingly, he ended up moving across the street. He lived in the really nice new apartments. I lived in the old, I lived in the old ghetto ones, just outside downtown. But I'd run into him a little bit while he lived there. And anyway, John Starks, good times. All right. Welcome to the he was good. I like John Starks. He was a good player. Welcome to the Monday Market Kickoff. As always, keep in mind this is for education, illustrative purposes only. Nothing intended as a recommendation to buy or sell. We're not brokers or advisors, therefore we don't give anything that should be considered personalized investment advice. Any decisions you make based on information you see or hear at this platform should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Let's go look at the futures. Looking good. What's the news? Looking good. Our posture dropped but stayed bullish. That was the takeaway. And in fact, our watch list for the week was as big, if not bigger, than the last couple of weeks. That's important. Right? Did anyone happen to notice that? The watch list itself was quite strong. So the futures look good. The news looks pretty positive. The market's itching. I mean, it wants to stay bullish. You can see it. We'll look at the economic calendar. Talk about trades that you may have carried over the weekend. And we'll definitely go through our early week opportunity list. Trading plan section of the week. We're on section 3 this week. We're on section 3, which is trading rules in order to build trading systems That's what we're looking for. Let's jump in. Okay. Oh, and welcome back, Rosanna. It's good to have you back. I hope you were just out touring the world for a little while, and now you're coming back to check in on the markets. Either way, we're really glad to have you back, and thank you for saying hello. All right. Um, can I just jump in, or should I start at the beginning on the market plan? I would jump right in. Yeah, you missed section 1 and 2. Section 1 is personal, personal info, strengths, weaknesses, things like that. Section 2 is market posture, which we do together. I mean, I want people to have it because I know, I mean, it makes me sad, but I know eventually everyone's going to leave this group at some point. And when you do, I want you to leave better than you came, with a plan, with market posture, with record keeping, with rules, with checklists, with organization and structure. I want you to leave better than you came. And so, yeah, jump in at any point, start the loop, and then as it comes around, you'll get to the other stuff. What do we have? NASDAQ surges toward rebound as chip stocks recover. So if you happen to hold now, I did not, and it doesn't look great. I mean, it's up 1.5%. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, ooh, is this Nvidia gonna come back? Nah, I'm glad. I mean, I ended up walking away with some money on it. The take profit made all the difference. That's something I want everyone to notice. On that Nvidia trade, we had an intermediary target set up at this level here, 230. Made all the difference to have scaled out um, and picked the piece up. So if you haven't developed an affinity for scaling, I would highly recommend that you do. It's a great way to manage risk and manage trades. Okay. All right. Let's keep going through here now. Okay. Oh, Micron, how's it doing this morning? Some of them are probably going to have better recoveries than others. That's a good one. Let's go to the posture real fast. Oh, I just messed up the order of my watch list. Hold on. There we go. Let's go. I got it fixed. And I realized that I haven't posted this for a little while for a historical. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the I'm going to put in the new or the updated market posture log, and I'm going to put in an updated watch list as well. So we'll have both. We will have both. All right. What happened? I dropped a quarter and a point. The Oracle only dropped 3/4 of a point. So we do have a little discrepancy there. What was the drop? Long-term trend stayed the same. For me, the short term, I dropped a half, and the Oracle didn't drop any. Right? Didn't drop any, which I'm like, interesting. But it is I said I'm not going to I'm not going to try to convince it otherwise. So Sandy says, what's an uptick rule? I'm assuming, Sandy, that you're referring to uh a short sale rule that says you can only short a stock on an uptick. So when you're shorting a stock, you're selling something that you don't own, right? You're borrowing shares from your broker's inventory so that you can sell it at the current price, with the thought that you're going to buy it back at a lower price because it's falling. The uptick rule means that if it's just dropping, they're not going to let people just short on the drop. You can only short it as it has gone up a little bit, a short on an uptick. So Interactive Brokers have those on Oracle and Intel. Oh, I thought it was still just like a. I mean, I haven't looked into it for a while, and I sometimes wonder if I'm like behind some recent brokerage regulatory changes. But no, the that's typically what it is um, a restriction in when and how you can enter a new short position. So that's the best I've got without any additional context. um, the day well, they're not gone, right? I think it's just gone down to $2,000. Isn't that what it is? So it's no longer 25. You mean the pattern day trader rules? Yeah. PDT sounds like a gang, right? What's up? Well, I'll roll PDT. Pattern day trader is used to be you could get 3 day trades in any rolling 5 day time frame, and they'd mark it. They'd be like, "You got one left." And then if you hit the next one, they're like, you're relegated to closing trades only. So my understanding was the threshold was dropped to 2K, but Don is saying for Schwab, it's just simply, they're like, you know what? If you got $1,000 and you want to throw some day trades, we're just going to look the other way. We don't care. Oh, interesting. Okay. What else happened? So I both me and the Oracle dropped on volume. That's probably the biggest concern. That's the one place for both of us where we have where we've gone into a negative number. Let's see what else. Major market, we both stayed at 0.75. Sector rotation, we both stayed at 0.25. And oh no, major market, I stayed at 0.75 because that's where I was. But the VIX or the Oracle dropped a quarter point. We both stayed at 0.25. I dropped my VIX a quarter or a half of a point. I did not like that spike. The Oracle only dropped theirs 0.25. Let's actually go there. Sorry, let's just recap. Final total, I'm a 4, still bullish. Oracle's a 5, a little more bullish. 4.5 average. I would say the vast majority of the group is somewhere close. There was a couple of people at a 3.75, which is basically a 4. I didn't see anyone higher than a 5. Right? I didn't see anyone higher than a 5. So I would say that's probably a pretty good range as far as it goes. All right. Let's go look at the SPY and see how we're doing overall. A nice inside day. Yeah, this line's actually, this is funny. This red line is my long term line, but it's, sort of showing some relevance, as it were, or as it is, I suppose. Uh, let's see. I want to go inside. Okay, opening range is holding up. Sandy said Amazon might be good for a day trade today. Well, and especially if we can break this opening range and start to close this distance. But let's go take a look. Yeah, look, here's the deal. We need to see which way it breaks, but I would agree with that overall. And let's go pull into the VIX and see what the result is here. Yeah, it's come down quite a bit. It's got, you can see that it's, even where it's come down to, it's kind of the old highs. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We've got plenty of things that we think are good opportunities. Okay, starting at the top. Now, so far, what we have is stabilization, right? Stabilization. Um, it's for a lot of these, you're going to have to wait longer than just like, oh, it's a little bit back up from the low. So let's jump in. This American Airlines, if it ends up back where it was, you can see it's starting to turn, but it's a little bit more doji than we would probably want. Um, Still close. Apple, close. Archer Daniels. Telling you. I don't think any of them are going to fire right now, but we've got plenty that are setting up. ASX, AXTI. Let's go take a quick pause. We're going to just sort of, boomers hoard wealth and power, fearing they'll outlive it. Iran announces an end to attacks on Israel following Trump's plea. So great. Tariff refund watch. IMF chief warns the world isn't ready for the shocks piling up. Yeah, I wonder about that too. Um, I wonder about that too. Like, if you remember after the pandemic, when we had the whole supply chain issue, it's not immediate when things shut down and you're like, oh, everything shut down for a little while. And then all of a sudden, like a little later, you're like, oh, it's like the aftershocks. I'm going to read that one later. I'll bring back any good information that it might have. But I share a similar type of a concern of something that's hiding in the wings, you know. What when was that announced, Peter? Marvell moving to the S&P 500, and what's the date for that? Because yeah, that's going to absolutely drive additional impact. Because what's going to happen? Every single fund that mimics the S&P 500 is going to every single one that mimics the S&P 500 is going to have to lead. And what got dropped for it? Was there only one switch? Oftentimes there's three or four, but at any given time, I should go back and look at historically. I mean, with 500 companies, you would expect that, but what else? Can the market handle SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic IPOs all at once? Um, Campbell's got dropped. Campbell's soup? You just don't see people having as much canned soup these days. um, please explain scaling. Scaling is just the concept of like moving in and out in pieces rather than all at once. So if you're a trend trader, a lot more competition in the soup is it more competition or less soup drinking? I don't know, maybe it's both. When you you'll notice when we do alerts, we do a two scale. Like we will say, hey, this is a great take profit place where I can scale out. I can sell half, sell a third, sell a quarter, sell 40%, depending on number of contracts I have, and then adjust my risk management for everything else going forward. If you've ever heard the story of the turtle traders, and if you haven't, you should look into it. It's an interesting story. Um, but they had a trending system, so it's a long term system where you scale in. So if you're trend trading, you tend to scale in. If you're swing trading, you tend to scale out, right? You tend to scale out. So um the you might be like, I'm going to pick up a piece here. Their scale is based on a half an ATR. Moves up half ATR, add a piece. Another half ATR, add another piece. And after four or five, you have a full position, and then you hold it until the trend breaks, and then you're up. Then you start over. 80% of your money comes on 20% of your trades. If you're swing trading, you tend to go all in and then scale out. So you might sell one or two at one level, and then you might sell a few more, and then you might trail stop the rest. So that's what I mean when I say scaling. Is just looking at it that way. Okay. Let's go look at these. Here's Flex. Flex is quite strong for sure. Yeah. Yeah, quite strong. Okay. Frozen chicken in the chicken soup picks people up. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's see. Where did we start? We were in the A's. Financials, BAC, no. Oh, stochastics is still coming down. Um, stochastics is still coming down, but the stock price is starting to move a little bit. So that's interesting. Okay. BW still going down. City going, well, City's trying to recover. Still have a little bit of that. See what's going on there. Caterpillar. Let's see. Okay, let's see. AMD is up for, yeah. There's some movers this morning for sure, for sure. Let's see. CSIQ, CSX. You can see some of these that are setting up are still setting up. Let's take a quick pause and let's see. Dale still looking like a setup. Diamonds, that was kind of flat. Enbridge is still trying. You still have a piece of that. Let's see. Let's see. Elon and Google, big money per month for AI computing capacity. Oh, wow. Let's see. Gold is down. General Motors. Ooh, General Motors is trying. I would say GM is one that I'm kind of thinking maybe you can see the stochastics is turning. The buyers are pushing. There's a possible signal developing here. Okay. Google. Google still. Well, Peter T, why is Google not moving today? It'll move. I can feel it. Goldman pulling back or in its consolidation. Let's see. Intel, IWM is a little recovery, but you can see there's a good question is why, right? JCI pulling back. Oh, Lionsgate. Okay, so let's talk about this one. I've been waiting for this one. I like where it is. Um, I believe I checked the liquidity on this, but I'm gonna go check again. Okay. Is it running out of steam? Lionsgate, Sandy, is that the one? I don't know. I mean, it's running out of steam to the downside. I think I'm definitely going to give the buyers their due. Um, Now here's what I like about it: 1640. We're that's $3 almost from here. We could, Stephen. That's a great point. That's a great point. However, I'm gonna go out to the Julys, and it's got a well, no, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I actually do want to do the option, but we'll see which one I end up with. Okay. Lumentum LRCX still setting up. The July spreads are not good, Stephen. I was looking at that too. I looked at the Junes, I thought, and I was like, these can hold up. That's the thing I'm thinking is that it's possible that it can hold up, no matter what. Okay, let's keep looking. They are terrible. We'll see if they tighten up by the time the spread triggers or the trade triggers. Lunar's down, Meta down, MFC. Marvell pulling back overall, but up 7% today. So choppy right now. Morgan Stanley. I want to take a quick peek at the heat map now that we've got some time. Whoa, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Yeah, communications are getting hit a little bit. Software a little bit, Microsoft and Oracle. Computer hardware is good. Semiconductors are good. Technology is good. Energy stocks are doing pretty well. Uh, yeah, kind of a mixed bag for a bullish day, right? It's not just straight bullish, but it's in line with what we're looking for, I would say. Okay, let's keep looking. Make sure you know what's on this week's map. Nothing today, nothing really tomorrow. It's not till Wednesday. It's not till Wednesday that we have a little bit more data coming in when we have CPI. Thursday, we have PPI. And then that's about it for the week. But we are going to get some inflationary data, and that could be scary. How could it impact? Um, I would say that my concern for the impact with that is, especially you can see that the year over year CPI numbers for May. This is probably the most concerning one. The market could get a bit of a shock from that 4.2% number, especially if it happens to come in even worse. So that would probably be the main thing, I would say. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Stephen D says inflation is not going to be good. Be prepared for volatile training, volatility trade. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that as well. To be fair. Okay, let's keep looking. Micron. So we have setups, but I'm not convinced we're going to have triggers today. Someone tell me if you think I'm wrong and I need to look at a stock that I haven't looked at yet. So far, I see some things that look close. Um, okay. PLTR. Um, again, close, but not quite yet. PM, no. QQQ, Riot, they're all close, but nothing's turning yet. So here's what I'm going to say. Ooh, Steven, I like it. I like it. An anticipation trade always is, something I'm going to be considering in a increased market posture environment. Mm, yeah, that's an interesting one right there, Steven. Did you do it this morning? Very interesting. Let's see. Yeah. Philip Morris, Friday. Okay, nice. Very nice. Now, did I know there was a few that were put out? Does anybody have one they want to look at that I haven't looked at yet? I know we're only in the P's. We've got some room to go, but we'll pop back around a little bit. Riot, close. Rocket Lab, not too far off. Okay, let's keep going. Raw stores, no. RTX tends to go off like a rocket is for sure true. That is for sure true. We're seeing some recovery here already. Ooh, I think I have one that might be our first tradable. You guys ready for this one? STM. No, it was having too steep of a decline that even this is not quite there on your stochastics. You can see. STX close. Mm, I think anticipatory is what we have. It's there's nothing confirmed yet. The IAV. Okay, let's see. VIX. So it's interesting, right? Because a lot of times when we see a nice bullish open, strong futures, we're like, "Ooh, we're gonna have trades." It's good. It's a good stabilizer. Um, a good stabilizer from uh Friday to today, but certainly not enough that we're just seeing trades starting to pop up. The options are astronomical. Steven said, "Let's go back." RKLB. Oh yeah, look what he's talking about here. If you're not sure what he meant, the implied volatility is at basically the highs. Okay. Where were we? WDC stabilizing. Someone said something about Walmart trying to figure it out. We still have this trade on from last week. Um, and looking good. It's trying to move. Okay, I've got some coming through here. STI, Peter said. This open round of um open round for looking at stocks. STIs. Ooh, I don't know. That one's had some kind of news come out. It's very interesting. No options. Ah, so stock only. Okay, very nice. What about Lilly and WDC? Here's Eli Lilly. Um, okay. And what was the other one? Let me see. Pump and dump. Okay. WDC and SFM. WDC, we looked at, not quite there yet. Lily options are, let's see here. A lot of options are right. Look at a lot of these things are just really expensive options with wide spreads. If you're an options trader, you know it's been more difficult with this environment. Um, Eli Lilly is uh, just overextended right now. The spreads are astronomical. Yeah, I mean, right now it's a funny thing because I've been talking about. I think we should start eliminating. Excuse me, eliminating weekly options. I think right now weekly options have spread the trading without maintaining the volume in a way that makes it appear thinner and allows market makers the ability to widen the spreads, and that screws us as individual traders. So that's tough. Okay. Okay. Um, let's go to the sectors real fast. So here's my bottom line. It's a good day, but don't be in a rush to trade. Make sure you're seeing it to the end of the day. When I see something like this, sometimes I'm like, ooh, this thing is moving and we need to get in. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this thing could be head faking. We're seeing some momentum, but it's nothing where you're like, wait, nothing's really firing a signal yet. Um, Materials kind of flat, pulled back. Communication services has just gotten battered, and it's still happening now. I believe Glenn put this picture up, but let me show this. I'm going to go to the heat map and I'm going to change it to a 1 week. You've got one little pocket, AMAT. There's Lamb Research. Ooh, KLAC. Maybe we should take a look at that one. That's not one that's pulled up on our searching. KLAC is about to go through a 10-for-1 split. I am going to put this on our list. Okay, let's go back. Apple's good, but everything else is struggling. Financials are picking up. Communication services not good. Healthcare picking up. Consumer cyclical is a mixed bag. Industrials is a mixed bag. Consumer defensive is trying. Utilities is trying. Energy. Yeah, this is still kind of iffy, broadly speaking, right? There's still a bit of iffiness to it. Okay, well, we have a few minutes. I'm going to open it up. SFM, Charles said. Okay. Tell me if I've missed any of the others that have been put out there. I'm definitely looking to trade. I want to trade, but I'm not going to force a trade. So that's kind of the perspective. that I'm taking right now. Okay. SFM took a trade on Friday. I like it. 75 calls. It made a nice move today. Yeah, looks great. If you have a swing trade, I'd probably be thinking to myself, let's already start looking at the Heikin-Ashi. You could have a stop. If you had your stop under these lows down here around 76, 76 and a half, you could definitely start pushing that up towards 79 and then maybe follow it up. What's your target on this? Sandy says, I look at the charts and go, ooh, then look at the option spreads and go, nope. Oh, more often, more than I want, right? More than I want. That happens. Yes, I agree. Okay. Okay, let's see. SFM. What did I say about Kinder Learning? Wait, which one is that? Is that KLAC? I was like, that's not learning. That's a KLM. I didn't think I said anything, did I? KLM. Mm, oh, KLAC. That's KLAC. That's the semiconductor. They have a 10 for 1 split coming on Friday, it looks like. Um, let's see. They need a split. Way too expensive. Agreed. 20 to 1 puts it back to $100 stock. People will love that, especially with that trend. That's one of the reasons I want to keep looking at it. I don't just like splits for splits. There's got to be something underlying, which is in this case strong stock, strong industry, right? Then because when was it Netflix? No, who did their big split? And it didn't really come back. No, who was it? I'm thinking of somebody. Yeah, it was Netflix. It was Netflix. 10 to 1. But look what it was doing. Semiconductors definitely has room to grow. It's going to be so much requirements for processing and for everything in there. Why are the spreads so unreasonable? Yeah, I it's an interesting question, you know. It's I feel like the market makers are taking advantage of it. And there's not much we as individual traders can do. Right? Rosanna never recovered. I mean, it tried. It all of a sudden had this one little like and then it tried again and then the earnings were just like no. The market is going to go up and they're keeping you out. Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. Okay, so end of the let's come up with they have to make money some way. I'm sure they're doing fine. Pretty flat for the day. Pretty flat. Not a lot of sustenance here yet. So yeah, let's just kind of see what ends up happening, and then we'll go from there and see what we think. But I'm gonna say I'm leaning towards maybe not a trade today, especially if in the afternoon there's a little bit of a waffling in the market. A little bit of waffling, and then we'll see what happens. But I do think we'll have signals. I do think that it's coming. So there you go. Walmart building, yeah, it's trying. We have a trade on in this. It's trying. It's doing its thing. So let's keep an eye on that. See what happens there. Um, Somebody's selling waffles. No, but I am getting hungry now, Don. I need some breakfast. Listen, good. We said we're still bullish. Um, it's still looking bullish, but we're not going to force trades. We're not going to rush. We're going to let it completely settle. Give us the signals that we're looking for, and then we'll go ahead and jump back in. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Amen, Mike. Let's have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. Don't overcommit. Don't let FOMO ever push you into something that you may not actually be ready to trade with. Steven, you have a question? Did I miss a question, or you're putting a question in? Let me see if that question from Stephen D comes. Well, maybe he doesn't have a question after all. It is great to. Oh, why, if I put a trade $1 over the mid-range price and it has interest but does not get placed? So what Steven's talking about here, for anyone who's kicking around for this last question, is anytime you try to split the bid ask differential, you're basically presenting it to the market makers, and then you're just kind of seeing what gets picked up. And it is sometimes feels random, because there's times where I'm like, I'm going to put it in, but I don't think I'm going to get it, and then right away. And then there's times where it's liquid and it's right in the middle, and I'm like, oh, this should fill right away, and I put it in and I just get nothing. I'm just like, wait, it's just not filling. It's just not filling. Um, yeah, you're anytime you're between bid and ask, you're at market maker discretion, and there's really not a lot of rhyme or reason behind that. So that's what I would say about that. Okay. Okay. Well, it's great to see everybody. I hope you guys have a great rest of your uh great rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. And as always, happy trading. Oh gosh, I just saw Rosanna. My sincere condolences. Um, that's a tough one to come back from. I've lost both of my parents, and I know how hard that can be. So my condolences to you and your family, and we are very glad to have you back. That is completely understandable. So, anyways, I hope you're ready to join us, and we're glad you're back in the fold. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.